Okay, so now we're going to go over how to uh, create and send a new message in Gmail. So far we've gone over how to reply to a message that somebody else sent you, or how to forward a message from someone else to a different person who did not receive the original message. But now we're going to go to what you would normally do in terms of creating and sending a message to someone. Creating and sending a message in Gmail is called compose. And the important thing is not the word compose, but this plus sign here. In the world of Google Apps, the plus sign always means create something new. So in this case, create a new message. In other apps, it might create a new calendar event or a new contact or a new document. But whenever you want to send a new message, always think create and the plus sign. So we click on this button and a message window appears. And we can type our message here, or if we like, this area here with the two arrows will give us a full screen if we prefer to have a bigger area to type in. So we start by typing the name of the person that we want to send it to. If that person is in our contact list, if we type the first few letters, a name will appear and we can simply click on the button to insert that name. So if I wanted to send a message to Veronique, I type a V and her name appears. And if I indeed want to send it to her, I click on the box and it puts her name up there, her name that's in the contact list. Then we put a subject that says test message. That's what's going to appear in the inbox. And then we go down into the what's called the body of the message, what we're actually going to type. And notice when I click down there, it automatically put in Hi Veronique. Now we can keep that in there just by pressing the right arrow key. So if I press the right arrow key, notice it's sort of made it a bit darker, and it will leave it in there. But if I want to type something different, I can just type it however I want and ignore what Gmail puts in there. Oops, I made a mistake. Remember our friend the backspace key? So if you see that you made an error in typing, you can hit the backspace key and type it over again. So this is a very simple message, and I type it, and when I'm ready to send it, I click on the blue send button. I get a message that says message sent. That confirms that the message has been sent. I can also check that, remember, by going to the sent folder and clicking on that. Here is a test message that I just sent to Veronique. I had an earlier test message that I sent, but this is the one I just sent. And if it appears in the sent, that means that it went on its way. Let's go back to our inbox. And another kind of message you can send is to someone who's not in your contacts list. That's someone whose email address you know. So that would be somebody at gmail.com or hotmail.com or yahoo.com. So it's the name plus the @ sign plus the name of the mail service. So I happen to have a account I set up for training. So I type train.iosc@gmail.com. I'll put how are you? Then I go down to the message body. Hello, IOSC. How are, gotta remember my backspace always helps me. Now this is a good time to remember our arrow keys or our mouse. If we really wanted to change something that we already typed, we can move the mouse up to the line we want to type. Click with the left button to position the pointer. See how I'm going back and forth here to here, or even change the subject. Let's say I want to make this to be train instead of IOSC. And suppose I want to make this how are you doing. So you can use the pointer, or you can also use the arrow keys. That will see how the arrow keys are making me jump up and down there. Alright, then I sign my message and I'm ready to go. I click sent. Message is sent. I can check my sent folder. There's the message that I sent. A couple other things I want to show you. Again, we click compose to do a message. Let's go back to our friend train.iosc now. If you've already sent a message to someone and you start to type it, the name sort of appears, so you don't have to retype it. You can click on that box there, and if you want, you can add somebody else to this. Let's say I want to send this to one of my other email addresses. So you can send this to as many as you want. Notice these two things here, CC. CC means carbon copy. It means that a copy of your message is going to be sent to someone. Now when the person gets that in their inbox, it won't look any different than a regular message. But a carbon copy is kind of like it's sort of like a notice to somebody that, hey, I sent this message out and I'm sending you a copy in case you want to read it for some reason. The BCC sends a carbon copy, but it does not let anybody else know that a carbon copy was sent to that person. So if I did a BCC to Veronique, for example, Veronique will get a copy of the message, but when these two people get it, they won't see that Veronique was copied on it. So that's my subject. Got to tell you that I won't be in on Saturday, Fred. And then I send that off. Check my sent box. There it is. Notice it says the BCC to Veronique and the two people that received it. So that's basically how sending a new message works. You may get this message here. So I clearly sent it to the wrong address. Train.iosc doesn't exist. I'll have to look that up and find out what it is. But this is the kind of message you'll get if you try and send it to an email address that doesn't exist. All right, that's it for sending a new message. Now we're going to practice this.